यस्य कृत्यन्न विघ्नन्ति शीतमुष्णं भयं रतिः समृद्धिरसमृद्धिर्वा स वै पंडित उच्यते.
Today we sit with a single verse from one of the most remarkable midnight conversations in world literature. It comes from the Vidura Niti in the Udyoga Parva of the Mahabharata, and it goes like this: Yasya Krityam na Vighnanti Shitam Ushnam Bhayam Ratihi Samriddhir Asamriddhirva Sa Vai Pandita Uchyate. He whose duty is not obstructed by cold or heat, by fear or pleasure, by prosperity or adversity, he truly is called wise. Let us first taste the words themselves, because in Sanskrit, the wisdom often lives inside the grammar. The key word is Krityam. It comes from the root kri, which means to do, but it carries a special suffix that turns it into that which ought to be done. Not just work, duty. Obligation is baked into the very shape of the word. Then comes the verb Vighnanti, built from vi plus the root han, which means to strike. So the literal image is violent. Cold, heat, fear, and pleasure are striking blows at your work, trying to shatter it apart. This is the same root that gives us the word Vighna, obstacle, the very thing Ganesha is invoked to remove. And the wise person, the Pandita, is simply the one on whom these blows do not land. The word Pandita itself comes from Panda, which means ripened, discriminating wisdom. Not book learning, but wisdom that has soaked all the way down into conduct. And notice the final word, Uchyate, is called. You do not get to declare yourself wise. Others read that title off your track record. Now look at the beautiful architecture of the verse. Vidura names 6 forces, but they come in 3 matched pairs. First, Shita and Ushna, cold and heat. That is the body's vote: discomfort, fatigue, inconvenience. Second, Bhaya and Rati, fear and pleasure. That is the mind's vote. Fear pushes you away from your duty, and pleasure seduces you toward distraction. These are the 2 fundamental vectors of all emotion: aversion and attraction. Third, samriddhi and asamriddhi, prosperity and adversity. That is the world's vote. In 3 short pairs, Vidura has covered the entire field of human experience: the physical, the emotional, and the circumstantial. Now, the setting of this verse makes it unforgettable. The great war is about to begin. King Dhritarashtra, the blind father of the Kauravas, cannot sleep. This whole section of the epic is literally called Prajaagara, the sleeplessness. In the dead of night, the tormented king summons his half-brother Vidura, who is said to be the incarnation of Dharma himself, and asks him, "What is right for a man who is burning inside?" And when the king asks him to describe the truly wise person, Vidura gives this answer. Here is the piercing irony. Vidura is describing exactly what Dhritarashtra is not. The king's own duty to restrain his greedy son Duryodhana has been completely obstructed by Rati, his blind attachment to his son, by Bhaya, his fear of confronting him, and by his hunger for the Pandavas' wealth. The definition of the wise man is at the same time a mirror held up to the fool. And Dhritarashtra will listen to all of it, praise it, and change nothing. That too is a teaching. Hearing wisdom and being wise are not the same thing. Notice something the verse does not say. It does not say the wise person feels no cold, no fear, no delight. It says these things do not obstruct his duty. The inner weather continues. It simply loses its veto power over action. This is the seed of what Krishna will later teach Arjuna on the battlefield. In the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Krishna uses the very same words. Matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukh dukhdaha. The contacts of the senses bring cold and heat, pleasure and pain. They come and they go. Endure them. And again, treating alike pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat, engage in battle. Vidura's midnight counsel, ignored before the war, is re-delivered by Krishna in the middle of it. And this insight echoes across the world. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius, shivering in a military camp, wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being." Rudyard Kipling wrote, "If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same." Modern psychology has caught up too. Acceptance and commitment therapy defines its highest skill as committed action, moving toward what you value while carrying your fear, not waiting until the fear is gone. Research on grit shows that long-term achievement is predicted less by talent than by effort that survives setbacks. And notice Vidura's subtlest insight. He lists prosperity, success, as an obstacle equal to failure. Abundance breeds complacency, the quiet whisper that says, "You have done enough." The wise person's work survives winning, and that is rarer than surviving losing. So how do we live this verse starting today? First, sit with the question, which of the six is your gate? Cold and heat, fear, pleasure, success, or failure? Which one most reliably derails your most important work? For many driven people, it is not failure at all. It is rati, the pull of the pleasant distraction, or samriddhi, coasting after a victory. Second, ask, can you name your Krityam, the work that is yours to do, in one sentence? Because if you cannot name it, your conditions will name your day for you. And here is a practical exercise. Call it the unobstructed hour. Choose the single most important hour of your daily work, and for the next 7 days, make that 1 hour condition-proof. Decide the night before exactly when it happens and what you will do. Then, when resistance arrives, and it will, label it with Vidura's own words. Feeling tired or uncomfortable, say to yourself, "This is Shita." Afraid the work will not be good enough? This is Bhaya. The phone calling, the snack calling, this is Rati. Naming the intruder turns a compulsion into an object you can watch, and an observed obstacle loses its veto. The feeling may stay. You are not required to feel good. You are only required to not be obstructed. Each evening, Write one line. Was the duty done? And which of the 6 attacked today? Within a week, you will know your personal obstacle profile with real precision. Carry this one thought with you. Conditions report, they do not command. Check the weather, inner and outer, the way a ship's captain does, to navigate, never to decide whether to sail. The one whose work sails on through cold and heat, through fear and pleasure, through fortune and misfortune. Sa vai Pandita Uchyate. That one, truly, is called wise.
यस्य कृत्यन्न विघ्नन्ति शीतमुष्णं भयं रतिः समृद्धिरसमृद्धिर्वा स वै पण्डित उच्यते